so our workspace. Now, when we first open it up, the drawing or the program here at school, it's going to look like this. But you also have, this workspace that we're working on right now is a 2D drawing. So we're only going to work in 2 dimensions, X and Y. We're not going to work in the 3 dimensions. But if you come over here into your quick access, you can actually click on this workspace and notice it has drafting and annotation. Drafting and annotation means you're working in 2D modeling or 2D drawings. The 3D basics and the 3D modeling means you're actually going to draw 3D parts, okay? Which is wicked cool for advanced CAD, okay? But we're only going to do the drafting and annotation. When you're at home, you actually might already see this little gear space set up, okay? Now, the next thing that we have here is this where it says Home, Insert, Annotate, Parametric View, Manage, Output, blah, 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 blah. Those are our ribbons. The Home ribbon has what's called a Draw panel, a Modify panel, Annotation panel. Okay? Inside that panel are the icons or the tools themselves. So each ribbon, there's the Insert ribbon, has its own panel. Annotate has its own panel. Parametric, etc., etc. Okay? So far, so good. We're going to be focusing on the Home for right now. We'll be using the first 3. Okay? Those will probably what we'll try to learn today is the first 3, and we'll keep moving forward. Now, this is your tab of what drawing you're working on. So if I had multiple drawings open, which I am like one of those people that are multitaskers, I might be drawing in this, copying information, putting it into the second drawing, etc., etc. And all you have to do to switch between drawings is click on that tab. Okay? Now, the next thing down here is the command prompt. I almost always type in my commands down here at the bottom. So I want you to get familiar. Here's the reason why. When I first learned AutoCAD, is we had the icons, these little bitty tools all over the place. It was unbelievable. And every time you would move from one different drafter's computer to another, guess what? They had theirs set up to where they had it. Everything was different every time I sat down at a desk. So I said, you know what? It's taking me too long to find these buttons. I can type the command in at the bottom, be done. So there's line. If I want to draw a line, I just come down here and type L for line. Okay? The other nice thing is when you start to type in a command, it pops up and the computer's like, you know the autocorrect on your phones and stuff? It's trying to help you. So let it help you. Because sometimes I don't remember the commands, but I remember the word. Okay? These are called hotkey or shortcut commands. So I can type in L and I can start a line. Here's the other thing that I want to impress upon you. Huge, huge important. Even if you start the command by clicking on the little icon L for line, you still have to read the command prompt because it's telling you, hey, what do you want to do next? I want to specify the first point. Now, here's the other thing. Your mouse. You've got a left click, a wheelie that can go up and down, and a right click. The left click, and I apologize, if I ever say click, click, pick, click, that means left. If I want you to do something with the right, I'll say right. I'm just, you know, I've got somebody here that's shaking. Yes. So I'm going to pick with my left mouse, because it's so time consuming to say, pick with your left mouse button. So I'm going to pick left mouse button and I can start drawing a line. Simple as that. Now, I can hit my right mouse button and I get all of these shortcut commands. Different commands pop up during different times. Okay? And we'll go over that as we go along. Now, notice what the computer said at the bottom. It says specify next point, specify next point, specify next point. Or it says undo. Notice that it's blue. The blue blue means, and I didn't know this for the longest time because I wasn't taught, I just kind of, like I said, remember, I had icons, not ribbons. So the blue means I can touch it and I can undo what I did. And then I can pick the next point, and then I can actually click on the C for close or type in C, and boom, whoop, I got a triangle. Look at me go. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's not hard, you just have to think about it. And you have to read the command prompts, okay? If you don't, you're like, okay, now what do I do? Just look down and read what it says. It's gonna give you a tip on what you need to do next. Now here's the other thing. You get into such a role of, you know the commands by heart, you know, I want to fill it, radius, this radius, hit enter. You don't even have to look at the command prompt. You will get that good, but it'll take practice. Promise, it'll just take practice. All right. Now, the other thing, which it appears has been turned off, this is super important when you get into advanced CAD. So I want to tell you about it now so you're not surprised. It's called the UCS icon, okay? Somebody turned it off, UCS icon. Now I want it, notice if I read, enter an option, on, off, all, nor, origin, blah, 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 blah. There's a bunch of these types of buttons that we won't even use in this class. But I want to turn it on. So I'm just going to click, I'm going to click on. What popped up is this XY axis. Now the reason I'm harping on that, just bringing it up, you don't need it. I'm bringing it up because everybody knows their coordinate system. So when we start to draw a line, we've got X direction and Y direction. Horizontal and vertical, right? So we have to know. If I started counting blocks, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 up, that type of thing. Origin is 0, 0. Everybody good? That's how we draw. We also draw at angles. So there's things called polar. All right. Now, we have our cursor. Our cursor follows this everywhere. You can change the style of that cursor. I'm not going to get into that. I might just do a tutorial video and upload it if y'all don't like the settings, but I think that just takes time in our class to discuss it. So I'll create a video on how to modify this to your design. Maybe you want it orange, pink, day glow green, whatever you want it, okay? The background is white. Some people have a hard time seeing the white. Is yours white or is it black? Black. I like black myself, but when we do the demonstrations, it's easier to see in white. But if you like white, I can show you how to make it go white. All right. Now, the next thing down is going to be the tabs down here at the bottom. Okay, the tabs up here at the top are for each drawing. The tabs down here are the drawing space pages itself. Imagine that it's like a book, okay? So the book has the front cover and then it has all the individual pages, right? Well, each of these would be a page. And the reason I say that, it's a layout, but it's also called our paper space layout space, or model space. Everything you do, you draw in model space, everything. If you're going to draw a car, you're going to draw it to scale in model space. You're not going to half size it, quarter size. You're going to draw it full scale. It is what it is. If I do a subdivision, I am not going to scale that bad boy down. It is 1,000 acres. It's going to be drawn as 1,000 acres. Okay? Granted, we're not going to draw anything that big. Ours is only going to be, a couple inches here and there. But it is what it is. It's 1-to-1. There's no scaling down. Now, if we wanted to scale down, the way we would do it is we would go to the layout space. This is almost an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, this is what I normally do, but I watched April's video the other night and I thought it was fantastic, so I'm going to steal her idea. Okay, everybody knows what a frame is, right? Like a picture frame. It has the wood around it and then it has the picture behind it. And you have to put the picture behind it, right? Okay, so the idea being is I have a frame. This paper, which is my paper space, is my frame. I want to put a picture behind it so you can see me. I'm where you draw. I draw in model space. So to do that, if you double click inside of it, see the dark black? Okay, that means I can now draw it at whatever scale. So if I said down here, there has these little scale bars. You don't need to know this, but I think it's important to start off right away understanding this. I'm going to draw it 1 to 1. Okay? So now that drawing is at 1 to 1. I can actually draw a circle if the inside is activated. As soon as I double click on the outside, okay? So that's the difference. We're drawing in model space, and our title block and the pretty outline and the borders are done in paper space. All right? We'll go back to model space. All right, we're going to pause here, and then I'm going to go over the rest of these, and we're going to start on drawing.